20 years have passed with no answers and no Wendy Hudakoc.
What do you hope for now, 20 years later?
Answers in a body. You're not even a body, but her remains.
A grieving family still wondering what happened to the then 14-year-old that dark Florida night when she slipped out of her bedroom window, never to return.
Does your heart tell you she's alive?
No. No.
Is it because, as Dan believes, Ron DePeppo killed her in the wee hours after the party? The authorities have never been able to pin Wendy's mysterious disappearance on him. The main person of interest remains an elusive enigma.
Ron DePeppo is quite the loner. Some people believe he's unstable.
Recent social media activity has placed DePeppo in southern Nevada. Wanting to talk to him ourselves, Crime Watch Daily hired a private investigator to track him down. By analyzing photos from DePeppo's Facebook posts, our PI hits the jackpot, learning he's living homeless on the street in Sin City. From Naples to Las Vegas, Ron DePeppo has been spotted here outside of the Catholic Charities of Southern Nevada. He has a routine, according to our private investigator. He comes here to this charity to get fed about 10 o'clock, and then around 11, he supposedly takes a walk along to the city library, so we're waiting to spot him. 15 minutes later, he arrives, just as the PI said. Right now, you're looking at Ron DePeppo. That's him in the black zip-up sweater. The woman walking behind him, pushing the cart, is his girlfriend that he's always with. Right now, he's just going to get a meal. It's as he's leaving that we finally confront Ron DePeppo. This is a cold case. The family's looking for answers desperately.
Yeah, I hear about it all the time.
And the family really wants to know what you have to say.
See, I was followed ever since I came off of the Greyhound, and that's not legal.
We weren't following you. We just arrived in town.
Okay. Well,
I never saw you on a Greyhound.
I'm sorry, I have been followed.
The more we grill DePeppo, the more apparent his paranoia becomes. But you were just the last person to see her, and we were just wondering if you could talk us through that.
See, I always refer to the Bible. I know the enemy tried to hurt me. And I'll ask the Lord right now, because I'm innocent.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying you're guilty. Right.
Who is guilty is these oppressors around me.
You're not a suspect, but
I'm not guilty.
Now, listen to what DePeppo says when I ask about his car burning up shortly after Wendy's disappearance. How did your car catch on fire?
That was all a setup. Just like everything they're trying to do around me is a setup right now. They're orchestrating it forwardly. It's not it's self-willed. It's not of God.
Were you with Johnny Walker the night that your car caught fire back then? Do you remember?
No, I don't know. I don't even. I went out with someone else. So I didn't even hang out with the guy, to be honest with you. It was associates.
But did his story now change? It certainly goes against his and Johnny Walker's prior claims that both of them witnessed the fire begin from a discarded cigarette. Do you think about it, though? Do you think about what happened to her?
I think about this one thing. When King David said, the whole world will know that there's a God. I think about that. And I thought about that in the previous years, that maybe it would come to pass that I would rise and she would then come to the truth or come to her senses. But nevertheless, I have not rised yet, and I'm still working on the very reality of that.
Clearly, I wasn't getting answers about Wendy with DePeppo and ended the interview. Is the truth of what happened somewhere lost in the echo chamber of his addled mind? Or are his religious ramblings a smokescreen?
I mean, I follow his Facebook page. I pay attention to what he's doing on there, and I'm sorry, but no innocent person who has nothing to do with it would go that far off the deep end.
To this day, what Ron DePeppo knows about the fate of Wendy Hudakoc remains a painful mystery.
Her mom, I know she passed away.
One of the hardest things for her at the end of her life, knowing that her life was coming to an end because of cancer, she wanted closure. She wanted her version of closure, and her version of closure was very similar to most of ours: answers. just answers.
I want to be able to put her to rest, fully. And I want to know why I have to do that. Why do I have to bury my sister? Why wasn't my sister there when my kids were born? Why wasn't my sister there when I got married, being my maid of honor? Why did my mom have to die without knowing what happened to her baby? Why? Because it's not fair.
This case really comes down to someone finally clearing their conscience and telling investigators what they know. If you have any information on the disappearance of Wendy Hudakoc, please call the Collier County Sheriff's Office at 239-793-9300. Or you can submit a tip anonymously at crimewatchdaily.com. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.